The Chitrik Academy is dedicated in loving memory of Rabbi Tzvi Hirsh Chitrik.
Welcome to today's lesson. Today we're going to learn from Masad of Kana, which is on the bottom of Daf Chav Zayin Amud Beis, until the top of the next page, Chav Ches Amud Aleph, like till Kasha over here. Tashma Kasha. In our previous lessons, we had learned that the Gemara asks, is a person allowed to take the law into his own hands? If a person knows the halacha, does he need to go to Beis Din, or can he take the law into his own hands? So we said in a case where a person will lose money if he goes to Beis Din, then both Reb Nachman and Rabbi Yehuda would say that yes, a person can take the law into his own hands. However, if a person is not going to lose money by going to Beis Din, nothing's going to happen during that time that he'll lose money, then Reb Nachman would say yes, a person can still take the law into his own hand and does not need to go to Beis Din. However, Rabbi Yehuda would say that no, a person must go to Beis Din and not take the law into his own hands. So we're going to learn a series of questions on this halacha. Masad Rav Kahana, the Gemara is going to ask a question now. Masad Rav Kahana asks from a statement. Ben Bagbag had made a statement. Ben Bagbag said, Al tikanas l'chatzer chavercha, do not enter your friend's chatzer, lito as shalach shalai b'reshus, even to take your own item without permission. What does this mean? In a case where there are two people, for example, Ruvain and Shimon, and Ruvain had taken something that belonged to Shimon. So Ben Babak says Shimon should not sneak quietly into Ruvain's house and take back his item, because then he's going to look like a thief. Rather, he should directly approach Ruvain and tell him, I'm going to take my item back. What we see from here is that Shimon is allowed to take the law into his own hands. He's allowed to directly approach Ruvain and demand back his money. Let's see this in the Gemara. Ben Bagbag says, a person, don't go to your friend's chaser and take your item without permission. Shematira love kiganiv, because then you may look like a thief. Ella, what should you do? Shavar eshinav, break his teeth. Ve'emerloi shali ani noito, and tell him clearly, I am going to take my item. So this is a question on Rabbi Yehuda, because Rabbi Yehuda had said, we had learned that Rabbi Yehuda had said that in a case where there's no loss, a person is not allowed to take the law into his own hands and must go to Beis Din. And Ben Bagbag says that a person is allowed to go directly and take what belongs to him. The Gemara is going to answer two answers. Number one, let's make a one over here. This is where answer one begins. Amr lei, Rabbi Yehuda would say, we're turning the page, Imach, is that your question? Ben Bagbag Yechidahu, Upligi Rabbanan Aleh. Ben Bagbag is a Yachid. He's one person who says that you're allowed to go and take the law into your own hands. However, Upligi Rabbanan Aleh, the Rabbanan argue on Ben Bagbag and hold like Rabbi Yehuda that you're not allowed to take the law into your own hands. Therefore, it's not a question because we don't paskin like Ben Bagbag. Rabbi Yanai tries to give a different answer. Rabbi Yanai is answer number two. He tries to say that when Bagbag said that Shvar Eshina, break his teeth, he did not mean that a person may approach the other person. Shimon can approach Ruvain and ask for his money. Rather, it's saying that Shimon should go to Beis Din. However, the Gemara is going to ask and say that this doesn't seem to fit, like we'll see later on. Rabbi Yanai says, My Shvar Eshinav, what does it mean, break his teeth? Not literally that you're allowed to hurt the other person, rather, Bedin, that the person Shimon should take Ruvain to Beis Din. These are the two answers we have. And therefore, because now it's not a question of Yehuda, because it never meant that a person could take the law into his own hands. Rather, he should go to Beis Din. Now the Gemara is going to ask now on Rabbi Yanai. Ihachi, if this is what Ben Bagbag meant, ve'emer loi, Why does it say that Shimon should tell Reuven? V'oimrim lai. It should say they, Bezdin, tell Reuven to give back the money. V'oimrim lai mi bayalei. It should say v'oimrim lai that they, plural, Bezdin, tells Reuven to return the money or the item that he took. Also, it says shali ani noito. Shimon should tell Reuven, I am taking my own item. What it should say, if it's Bezdin, is shalai hu noito mi bayalei. He's allowed to take his own item. So how could Ben Rabbi Yanai says that Ben Bagbai meant to go to Bezdin? It also, from Ben Bagbai's words, it seems to be saying that Shimon should tell his friend that I'm going to take my item, and not Bezdin is telling Reuven. And Gemara ends off, Kasha, it's a good question, and therefore we take away Rabbi Yanai's answer, and we're left with our original answer that Ben Bagbag is a Yachid, and we do not pass like him. This is what Rabbi Yehuda holds. And this is the end of this lesson.